My good friend Nick Liuzza. Nick Liuzza, of course, is the CEO of Beeline Holdings.
Yes, ticker symbol is BLNE, and their website is makeabeeline.com. Hopefully, he has survived Mardi Gras down in the Big Easy. Mr. Liuzza. He joins us right now on the Big Biz Show. How are you? Oh, look at you.
Look at him.
You look great.
He looks healthier. You're getting more handsome every time. I talk to Nick almost every day. One of my favorite people in the whole world. We become friends. That's what normally happens these days because he's a scoundrel like you and I, Mike. Hey, I only mean that in the nicest way. Hey, can I talk to you about overall economic stuff since you're a real estate guy? Inflation is eking down a bit, but talk about mortgage applications overall, because I heard a stat that said mortgage applications are up like crazy over the last year and are continuing to grow. Talk about that.
It's correct. They're up about 132% year over year. When you look at inflation ticking down a bit, I think people in the mortgage industry are gaining a bit more confidence in terms of their outlook for 2026. And as it relates to Beeline, we are definitely seeing our loan economics get better. And since they are improving, that means we're going to increase our marketing spend. And that means more revenue faster, quicker than we thought, which is pretty exciting.
What in terms of revenues for you folks, what is the lowest hanging fruit that you see? Because you guys founded this company, as a fintech mortgage lender and a software as a service sort of platform built on millennials, Gen Z, and beyond. What is the lowest hanging fruit these days that may have changed from when you guys originally thought about this business?
Well, it's a good question, right? I mean, when we drew it up in 2020 or 2019, the world was a lot different than it is today. I think the lowest hanging fruit, though, still remains the conventional business, the conventional mortgage business, right? Which is the Freddie Fannie business, the business that fits right into sort of where 70% of the market is, maybe 75% of the market. And so that's the lowest hanging fruit. That is where we're going to make most of our revenue on a going forward basis. But I will add, though, we're also addressing the other 30 to 35% with other products, the non-qualified products. So while we may see the lowest hanging fruit in the conventional space, we are completely dedicated to providing a better outcome for the gig economy workers through our platform. And we are going to continue to add more products. In fact, we're pretty close to adding even more products that are more related to the gig economy and younger borrowers.
Nick Liuzza is the CEO of Beeline Holdings Incorporated. Their ticker symbol is BLNE. Website, makeabeeline.com. Nick, as inflation ticks down, do you also think that, as you kick the can down the road, that availability of new houses and dwellings and stuff will also start to rise a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. And I think you have a guy in the White House, whether you like him or not, he's committed to increasing more supply. You may remember that, he's trying to prevent the larger companies from stacking or stacking the deck. Yeah, so I think that's going to help. But overall, yes, we are seeing better numbers. We're seeing more optimism. Everyone's a bit more excitable, and you're seeing, look, the mortgage industry is the biggest, smallest thing in the world, right? I mean, everyone knows everyone.
The biggest, smallest thing in the world. That's so interesting.
Yeah, everyone knows everyone, and everyone, and so the optimism, the M&A conversations, the conversations about hiring people again, and all the stuff that you see in normal markets, you're starting to see that activity happen, which means that, more than likely the business is right behind it, because not everyone is wrong all the time. And everyone has been wrong for a long period of time. And it feels like we're getting into a better cycle.
Nick Liuzza, CEO. The company is Beeline Holdings Incorporated. Website, makeabeeline.com. Ticker symbol, BLNE.
Hey, Nick, you have a product called Beeline Equity. Talk about it. Talk about the problem it's solving. Re-explain that for us, because I think not only our viewers, but people that invest in your company by watching our show are interested in that as well.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Appreciate that. It is a unique product. It is it's really geared toward people that can't qualify for a cash out refi, can't qualify for a HELOC, and they need liquidity. And our product allows them to sell a piece of their home in a pure sale of equity, where we record a pure deed. It's not disguised as some mortgage that you'll have to pay off later. We sit, above the homeowner on their deed, and we buy a piece of their property to give them liquidity pretty damn quickly. We are leveraging the blockchain for these transactions, which allows us to close fast, allows us to circumvent some of the industry standards as it relates to doing these sort of transactions. We're not doing an appraisal. We're not doing a credit check. and we are able to close these transactions very quickly. I will say, though, it's gotten out of the gate a little slower than we thought, not because of demand. The demand is off the hook, really just because we're leveraging the blockchain. And, there are some uncertainties out there. There are some hurdles to close. There's software to be built and integrations to be done. And all of that's, from our perspective, is pretty much done. We're going to make some really strong announcements before our earnings call in late March to discuss exactly where we are and even show the blockchain and show where these transactions are so people can go out and see them and touch them.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you get out of here until you talk about Barry Levinson. No, Mike, not that Barry Levinson. But Barry Levinson in the mortgage business is a pretty big name. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's like putting Tom Brady on your football team, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, we are a new age generation lender, right? We're focused on the new age. We're a fresh approach. But sometimes you have to merge, legacy, the legacy with the new age, and that's exactly what we're doing. This guy he's a great, great, great guy, and we just love him to death, and so honored to have him on board. But I mean, look, he built Countrywide Bank and lowered their cost of capital, and as a result of that, Countrywide became the #1 lender in the U.S. He was the managing director of PennyMac. I mean, this guy brings serious credentials to an emerging company like us. And so we're very excited to happen. He's going to look at our margin. He's going to help us with our warehouse lines. He's going to help us with new takeout partners. At the end of the day, we told the street we're going to be running at $100 million in 24 months. And by bringing Barry on board, we're able to feel a lot more comfortable about getting there.
Hey, Nick, last question. Do lower rates accelerate your revenue, in your opinion?
Oh, my God. I mean, look, it's lower rates could be a landslide, right? If they get below 5.5, between 5 and 5.5, look out. I mean, this business is going to just.
And what's the likelihood? Because as I've said before, when Mike and I were just doing radio a million years ago, there was a mortgage guy that we used to do endorsements for, and they said, if your mortgage isn't in the 2s, refinance. Obviously, we're not going there, in fact. But where do you think the 5s are coming in?
Well, the new normal, I think the new normal is here, and I think anything below the new normal, when you're a point and a half below the new normal, that's when you start to see activity. So the new normal is 6. You get from the 5 range, in my opinion. It's my opinion now. It looks like you're going to see some serious activity, and you're going to see everyone's P&L blow up in the business. What's the likelihood? I don't know. It changes by the day. It changes by what periodic, who you're reading, but it looks like again we're back on track for rate cuts this year. And since they're not changing the secretary for no reason.
Yeah. Nick Liuzza for president, as I've always said. Thanks.
Straight off a Mardi Gras float, right onto our show. CEO, Beeline Holdings Inc., BLNE, ticker symbol, the website, makeabeeline.com.